morning, everybody. Good morning and happy Pride. I got my Pride coffee going today. It's also a Florida Gators mug. I'm doing double duty, I guess, so. Whoa, some Florida State fans in the house? What's up with that? Wow, didn't realize it'd be so hostile right off the bat. Will you join me in our, open up our service with our gathering litany? We are God's work of art, each one of us a precious gem, a marvelous melody, a potter's delight.
We are God's handiwork, woven together in love, shaped with infinite compassion, painted with incredible beauty.
We are the church of the Jesus way, diverse in human qualities, but united in our call to love God with all our heart, our mind, our soul, our strength, and love our neighbors as ourselves.
We are the body of Christ, living in His truth, sharing His peace, carrying His hope, embodying His love in the world He loves so much.
We are here to be reminded once more who we are and what our lives are about.
We are here to be lifted, renewed, and empowered to live out the miracle of who we are by the power of God working in us.
Together, let us commune with that oh so living God.
Together, let us open ourselves and accept the call to become the love of God in the world around us, in all we do and are, and in all we are in the process of becoming.
Why don't we rise up in body or spirit and really kick off this service with a joyful hymn that we should sing all the time. It's called A Place at the Table, because the circle and the table is always getting wider and wider, and everybody should have a place at it. Let's rise up in body or spirit and join our voices in A Place at the Table. begin, my friends? Good morning and welcome to Faith United Church of Christ on this beautiful, it's been beautiful lately, hasn't it? I know it's getting hotter, but boy, the humidity's down. Let's get the weather report out of the way right away this morning. Humidity's been down. It's been lovely out there. So welcome on this beautiful Sunday. Such a welcome to all of our online friends as well. Wherever you are, I hope it is as beautiful as it's been here, and anyone that's with us or watching this later, in the middle of all these storms that have been going through our nation, peace be with you all, and blessings of safety be upon you and your families. So it's been a tough weather year so far through the Midwest, hasn't it? So we reach out to all who are struggling with weather-induced situations, and hopefully we will not be in the next 6 months struggling with any weather-induced situations as we roll into hurricane season. Oh my goodness. I'll save that for another time. It's still pretty early. A special welcome to anyone who's visiting with us. We're so happy to have you, return visitors, first-time visitors, second-time visitors. It's awesome to have you here in person and online. If you are in person with us, we keep a friendship book on the table, the gathering space. You can just write your information in there, and we'll get you on our newsletter list to keep you apprised of all the happenings. And if you're online, just go ahead and send a note to office@faithucc.org, and we will get you on that same newsletter list. And we got a lot going on. Today kicks off Pride Month, and we're kicking it off big time here. I love seeing all the colors. Did I see wings? I saw wings. We have wings back there. We got flags and colors, beautiful flowers, and it's just so nice to see so much wonderful color out there and diversity. And just want to give a quick note too. Yesterday, I'm going to say more about this in my sermon, but that's a group of us yesterday kicking off the Pride Flag Day raising ceremony in Dunedin. It was a great event, nice crowd. Only one loudmouth protester screaming away. I mean, it looks so pathetic. I almost wanted to go over and just give him a hug because he looked so sad. I mean, come on, dude. You couldn't even get a friend to come join you? No, I don't want anything to do with that. And he's across the street just screaming about Jesus Christ at the top of his lungs, and it's like, come on. Come on. So, but we didn't let him ruin our day, other than just feeling really sorry for the poor fella. And his hatred, and yeah, but we had a great day. A wonderful city representatives, mayor said some beautiful words. I'll share more about that in just a bit. But yeah, just a great day. Great to see your city supporting Pride in such a wonderful way. And thanks for everybody that was able to turn out. I know a lot of you just couldn't make it. Next year, we're already on the next year planning committee, and we've got next year we're doing matching shirts. Who right now is committing to serve on that Pride committee to plan shirts for us? Signs? Come on, I see some hands. Oh, I see hands. All right, we're holding you to it. I see hands. Okay, we got like 8, 9, 10 volunteers already. Excellent. And next year, because there was a church there were only... Is that what they're going to say? There was like 2 other churches. One of the local Lutheran churches had shirts, and they were there. And I saw maybe a couple of people. It's amazing to me how many faith communities are not represented at these things, and that even those that say they want to live Pride and live out loudly. It just makes me sad that we don't see more folks showing up at these events. So next year we're going to encourage them all to be there, and they're going to want to come and see our shirts anyways. So it's going to be a great. Hopefully it's a really great month, whatever you're doing to celebrate Pride this month. Be safe. Most of all, be safe. There's a lot of threats out there. You notice when you came in, we have a security officer outside. We did that last year during the month of June. FBI chatter is that there's an increased threat to communities that are celebrating Pride, so we thought, why not keep ourselves safe, just, especially during this month when everything's elevated. So Jude was able to arrange a nice officer. He was the same guy who was here last year, a real nice guy. Yeah, and what's his name? Tony. Yes, Tony. Yep, I'm going to get a chance to meet him afterwards. Real nice guy. So don't mess with Tony. Tony Soprano. I think his last name's Soprano. You don't want to. You don't want to mess with baritone out there. Yes, yeah. But so we're keeping us safe during this month because our flag flies out there and it's always a target. So, but we can never be silent. So I'll say more about that in just a bit in my sermon. But I just want to say to you, Happy Pride and welcome to Pride Month. And if you're visiting with us, I'm so glad that you are here. We have Pride. We also have Juneteenth coming up in 2 weeks. Celebration of Juneteenth. That's always exciting. Then I'm going to be taking a little time off, 2 weeks, and we've got some excellent preachers that are going to be stepping in here to offer some phenomenal words, and then back in July. And I'm working on the sermon series now for July into August. I'm working on a title calling it Beyond Progressive Theology. So this is going to be a pretty hard mysticism, progressive theology. What's next? What's beyond progressive theology? We've been there for a long time. What's beyond that? So I'm toying with that. So watch for more information on some good, exciting things to come for the summer. And of course, we're coming off of our Broadway month, and if that wasn't enough fun, I tell you, we always got something great going on around here. So hope you enjoyed that. Our Broad May month. Hope you enjoyed that, and watch for more information on another Broad May month coming, or maybe a Broad February or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but hope that was meaningful for you. I wonder if you'll join me in a little moment of centering here on this celebratory, revelatory, beautiful Sunday morning, colorful Sunday morning, and I invite you to take a few breaths to start our time together and center yourself in that churning spirit of God that is so powerfully among us and that we live and move and share our being within at all times. Breathe in a sense of peace in this time, colorful peace, prideful peace. Try and let go of some of that anxiety that you're carrying, tries to weigh us down, some of the fears. As Jesus said, today's enough for today. Let the rest be for tomorrow. Oh, colorful Creator. As we gather together today, we do so in celebration of the beauty of diversity and the strength of love. We come together this morning in unity, honoring the many colors and expressions that make up the human family. And as we journey into this Pride service and this Pride Month, we invoke your presence always to be among us. We give thanks this day and this month for the courage and the resilience of those who have paved the way for equality and acceptance. We remember the struggles and the triumphs of our LGBTQ friends and family members and loved ones. And we continue to honor those who continue to fight for justice and dignity. May this space always be one of safety and inclusion, where every individual feels valued and loved. Help us to listen with open hearts and to speak with kindness and compassion in all that we do. And may we always be reminded that each person is made in your image, wonderfully and uniquely created. So guide us in our journey, O God, toward a world where love is celebrated in all its forms and where every person can live authentically without fear. And bless this service. And bless every single person here today. And fill us with your spirit of peace, joy, and always unconditional love. In your many names, we pray this day. Amen. Let's journey ever deeper into our time of worship with a beautiful anthem, Draw the Circle Wide.
Draw the circle
That's pretty cool, huh? Beautiful. What a beautiful anthem. What beautiful words. What a beautiful vision. Well, today's sermon is more kind of a reflection on where we are as a church. So I really didn't even have a scripture passage until this morning after I wrote my sermon, which I know in seminary they say you never do that, but I did it today. So and I thought, well, it's all about love anyways, and love is mentioned like 10,000 times in the scriptures anyways. So it's like that could be our scriptures, just love, right? I thought what we piggyback on last week's reading, just the end of it, because it's such stunning words by Paul about love. So I thought we'd all just read this brief 1 Corinthians 13 reading, a bit of this together. Will you join me? Love is patient. Love is kind.
It does not envy. It does not boast.
It is not proud. It does not dishonor others.
It is not self-seeking.
It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. What's the greatest one again? Love. What was the greatest one again? Love. How do so many people miss that? That the greatest of these is not faith. It's not faith. Even though the guy at the Pride Parade yesterday sure seemed his warped view of faith, he missed this whole reading. I wanted to go over and ask him 2 questions. One is he read this and seen that love is the greatest source of all. And 2, I wanted to ask him, see, he had a pretty nice phone and some nice clothes. And I wanted to say to him, have you not read where Jesus, if you're a literalist, which he is, have you not read where Jesus said, hey, the guy says, what can I do to inherit eternal life? And Jesus said, oh, it's real easy. Just go sell all your possessions, give the money to the poor, and come follow me. They think that guy has gone and sold all his possessions and given the money to the poor and then come follow Jesus? No, he's a hypocrite. That's what he is. I mean, if you claim to be a literalist and you don't live these words, we just got to call it like it is. But that's not very loving of me, is it? My God. I meant it in love. Like I'm sure that's how he felt. I'm doing it for them. I'm saving their souls. I'm doing it in love. Oh, go away. Stick to the script, Mike. Speaking of love, going back to yesterday, it was a really special day at Dunedin City Hall, to our sermon page there, when a whole bunch of folks from the city, as you saw, and a bunch of you folks from the church were able to get down there, gathered to watch the raising of the Pride flag to kick off the beginning of Pride Month. Now, over the past few days, in fact, similar flag raisings were done in Tampa Bay and in St. Pete. St. Pete hosts one of the largest Pride gatherings. Yeah, anywhere in the entire world, with hundreds of thousands of folks streaming in at the end of the month for a multi-day celebration of love and equality and peace and harmony and unity. How do people have a problem with this? I don't get it. How do people have a problem with this? But this month's not about them anyways. It's rather about celebrating having the freedom to be authentically who one is. Who one was born to be. As Lady Gaga beautiful sang in her song Born This Way, right? And it's about celebrating the freedom to love openly and publicly one's soulmate, no matter who they are. It's a beautiful month that everyone should be excited for at our core. We all just want the freedom to live our lives without fear and ignorance and oppression and discrimination and condemnation. Isn't that what we want? Yes, Pride says you are loved. Let me honor you for who you are, and then let's work together to drown out the noise of those who, for some strange reason, have a big problem with that. That's what made yesterday so beautiful. As we watched the colorful Pride flag go up the Dunedin City Hall, and Mayor Bajolski talked about not living in fear and about love and inclusion and hope for all people to live exactly as they are, and not, again, just in Dunedin, but on Friday in St. Pete. I was struck by Mayor Ken Welch when their flag went up. He said, quote, it's said it's been a challenging year since we last raised the flag for Pride Month, but we have persevered, he said. And we stand together today to celebrate our progress, our principles, and who we are as a community. He went on, he said, here in St. Pete, we're proud to raise the flag because it symbolizes what our city stands for: inclusivity and equality for everyone. When we say we are St. Pete, I'll add in Dunedin, we mean everyone, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression, end quote. How great to see that from an elected official on that day. So from St. Pete to Tampa to Gulfport. Gulfport has a big one. Right here in Dunedin, how great to live in an area where so many cities are celebrating Pride and are willing, especially in this state, to so publicly show their commitment. As a longtime member, Ellery, over here. Put your hand up, Ellery. Everybody knows who you are. Ellery told me the other day, I was texting him with some stuff, and he said when Faith UCC was having conversations back in 2006 about becoming open and affirming, I'm going to say more about that in a bit, he introduced a song at the time, tried to get the people to sing a song called Don't Whisper That You Love Me. Don't whisper that you love me. And one of the lines is, don't whisper that you love me. Does anybody know it? Say it out loud. Don't whisper that you love me. Say it out loud. I love that. So let this month then for us, Faith UCC, be not about whispering, which we really don't know how to do well anyways, do we? But about proclaiming our love of inclusion out loud. So may our rainbow flag fly mightily this month and be an inspiration to all who drive down Pinehurst Road. And with that, I say to you, Happy Pride. Whew. Come on, Happy Pride. Now, I will admit, I was a bit worried earlier, this year, but how our city celebrations would go off and whether any pride flags would be raised on any of the city halls this year. For earlier, there was a bill, if you followed that, introduced that initially gained momentum in that great deliberative, and I use that lightly, body that is the Florida legislature, that would have banned the flying of any pride flag. Did you know that? Yeah, you followed that? Yeah. As well as several other flags that they threw in, just to make it appear it wasn't a completely homophobic attempt at discrimination. So, we're not smart enough to see what you're doing. It's exactly what it was. And luckily the bill, again, after picking up steam, it died the death that it should. But, in church language, we speak about resurrection. And surely that bill will be resurrected in a new form, and it will come at us again at some point on the horizon. You can bet on that. If you don't believe me that was potentially even a possibility, because it's kind of shocking to think that would even be in the realm of talking about. Well, tell me this year when you see the Sunshine Skyway Bridge adorned in pride colors, as it has been for the past several years. You won't. You won't see it because the request for the bridge to display pride colors for 1 week during the month of June was denied. Not to mention lighting requests for gun violence awareness, mental health awareness, and Juneteenth. All denied. The bridge instead, it's lit now, and will be through Labor Day, will be just lit in red, white, and blue. Now, I have no problem with red, white, and blue. Really, I don't. Especially, at all, especially when you get to the 4th of July and things like that. That's awesome. Love it. Celebrate. But surely we could make some room for some other expressions of things that are really important as a shared sense of our civic love for one another, right? So don't you think we can make room like we have in all the past years? Well, apparently not. And not only that, you won't see any of this either. You're not going to see any of the Pinellas transit buses wrapped with pride colors this year as they have been for the past decade, every single year. For that is now banned as new regulations. It's going to be banned. They held off because the new regulations, and no one wants to ruffle the feathers of those that hold the power strings. But so there's going to be no wrapped pride buses either. Isn't that crazy? We've enjoyed these things, and they're being rolled back. We should let that remind us that the forces looking to undo all the gains that we've made in LGBTQ rights are being rolled back and attempted to be rolled back. So you know what we got to do? We got to stay vigilant. And again, we need to never whisper anything, but we need to be loud. And we need to be vocal and visible and passionate about our deeply held beliefs in celebrating pride. That's what we got to do. Don't whisper. Scream it out loud that we celebrate pride. And that's what we're going to do here this month. That's what we're going to do. I mean, how awesome is it the next Saturday? Almost 60 folks, this is from last year, almost 60 folks, the friends of this church are heading down to St. Pete for the Tampa Bay Pride Race game. How cool is that? Even though it's baseball, I know, but hey, it's Pride, right? Oh, that just makes me smile. We will have a great time celebrating love and solidarity with thousands of other people that are willing, they're coming down there and they're doing the same. It's truly going to be a banner day for us as a church. It signals to me that our support for inclusion and love, with 60 plus people going, a lot of people are just out of town or they'd be there too. That says that our commitment to pride is just getting stronger and stronger. Last year we had 25. This year we have 60 plus, and no doubt next year we're going to take over the whole dang stadium. So don't whisper your love again. Don't whisper it. Say it out loud, right? And surely we will next Saturday at all and as well at all of the events. There's so much going on, my friends, that from a cart parade to the Pride pub crawl to the drag queen bingo to the pool party to the gala, and so much more happening right here in our city in the coming weeks. Celebrate loudly, say it out loud, happy Pride. I mentioned that statement about Ellery. When I texted him, I was looking through some old minutes and reports the other day from the church in an attempt to understand. I wanted to know, I know bits and pieces, but I've never done a deep dive. Understand where we came from, as a church, Faith UCC. Where do we come from when it comes to getting to where we are today? And a full-out embrace and love of all things pride. Because, a lot of churches, they're not here at all. They're not even in this conversation. They don't want to be. They claim they never will be. But how do we get to where we are? So today I just want to share a bit of that journey of this church and its commitment to pride and being faith advocates for the fullness of LGBT rights and inclusion. Now, figuring there was no better place to begin than old minutes. Oh my God, talk about a Friday spent in old minutes and agendas going back 30 years. Well, I dug in. I do this for you. I do this for you. I was in the back room with my coffee and my lo-fi jazz on, and I plowed into these minutes, one after the other, old historic things. I learned some really fascinating things, one of which is a note shared almost 25 years ago about a man named Gary Hart, in an article about him, about how he's quiet as a church mouse, and yet he's always out in the garden working and making the place look so beautiful. That was 25 years ago. He's still at it. Gary, you're still at it 25 years later. I took a picture of that and circled it. I should have put it up on the screen. It was an absolute hoot. They called you out 25 years ago for all your work outside, and we're still doing it today, quarter century later. So I wanted to learn, not only this church, but, I thought it'd be interesting to see where we came from, but also as a denomination, where did we come from, and what does it mean to be open and affirming? Many of you heard that phrase. A lot of you are new and you just don't know what that even means. You're new to the UCC. So I just wanted to give a really, just a brief history about how we got here. So first, we got to go back a little bit. The United Church of Christ, and don't fall asleep when I do this. It was created, it was created in 1957. We had a new member brunch yesterday, and we were talking about this, and it was pretty interesting to people, so I'm going to share a little bit of that. When four distinct strands, this is how we got to be the UCC, four distinct strands of the Christian faith in America came together. The Congregational and the Christian, they merged in like the 1930s, and the Evangelical and Reformed churches, not all of them, but those branches, they merged also in the 1930s, and then it took another almost 30 years, and they hammered out their differences, and all those branches merged in 1957 to form what we call the United Church of Christ. And it happened in Cleveland, Ohio. It took a long time, a lot of negotiation, but there's such a shared vision for justice and love that they came together around that and that motto, that they may all be one. So that's where we came from. Faith UCC, this church, your church, was then born in 1959. Did you know that we're that old? 1959, and born as a UCC church in Clearwater. We were down on Drew Street, across from the Phillies Stadium, right next to St. Pete College, where it was until 2009. Things were falling apart. St. Pete was coveting. They say, do not covet. Thou shalt not covet. St. Pete was doing some coveting. They were coveting that land that Faith UCC had. I don't know, doing some coveting. And Faith UCC said, all right, it's all falling apart anyways, and things had changed, and the membership was dwindling, so they sold it to St. Pete College around 2009. A core of you, some of you are still here to this day, stayed together. And you, as I call, you went into the wilderness. You floated in the wilderness for about a year. And you found a little Methodist church down on Union Street, not far from here, that you could rent. And they rented you space. I know it was hard and it was tricky and they had rules. It wasn't optimal, but you all stayed together. You persevered. You kept this core going of Faith UCC. And you were there for about a year. And then in 2011, roughly, give or take, 2010, 2011, our interim's wife, Carol, Robert Palin was our interim, great guy, still lives in the area. So Carol was driving by here one day and a for sale sign had just gone up out there. And this used to be this is a Christ Scientist church. Did you know that? Christian Science. The one with the reading rooms. Because if you walk around this place, what looks like a closet has a speaker and an air vent in it. You know what that means? They were in a light. They were reading in those rooms. So a lot of reading happened here apparently. But they were selling it. So she drove by and she saw the for sale sign, and you guys all that were here jumped on it and you bought this plot of land, and we've been here ever since. But for 50 years, this church was in Clearwater. It enjoyed a rich history, becoming a progressive UCC congregation and honing its faith activist roots down on Drew Street. Can I just get a show of hands? Who was here when this all happened? Who was here? Oh my gosh, there's more of you than I thought.
My parents.
Yeah, wow. Big hand. High fives, I love it. Yeah, we have them to thank. We really do have them to thank for keeping this alive, because a lot of churches, that's the end of it right there. But they didn't give up and they kept us alive. Anyway, going back to the national church. Back in 1972, just 3 years after the Stonewall riots, which kicked off, as many believe, the gay rights movement, though surely it began before that, the UCC, the United Church of Christ, did a new thing at a church in San Carlos, California. After a lengthy debate, prayer, and a lot of conversation, the first ever openly gay man, Bill Johnson, was ordained as a pastor at that church in San Carlos. And there's just some of the headlines that I could find. It was a momentous occasion. It was a first in the entire history, so UCCers love to claim, and it's probably true, in the recorded UCC, in the recorded history of Christianity. Think about that. Going back to Jesus Christ himself and forward through the Middle Ages, Catholicism, schisms, reformations, everything. First ever gay man openly ordained, gay person ever openly ordained in a church, in a Christian denomination. I think that's a pretty cool little thing that we have in our history. And again, UCCers are pretty proud of that, no pun intended. The UCC, the United Church of Christ, having this notion of autonomy built into its polity. We don't have a top-down structure in this denomination. It's not that. We are an autonomous church, local to ourselves. So it can never, the national church in Cleveland could never say, even though this happened, okay, there you go. Governing body has spoken. We've ordained the first gay man, so every UCC church in the nation now has to follow suit and do the same. Tried that in the Methodist church, right? Until recently. How did that work out? Thank God that they've had some wonderful conversations and some great leaders have led them forward. Just simply doesn't work that way in the UCC. But in 1985, at the General Assembly, the big gathering they do nationwide, a resolution was passed called Open and Affirming that said, urge churches to adopt covenants to welcome gay, lesbian, and bisexual people to join the congregation in the spirit and manner used in the welcome of any new member. Not special status. Like, oh, okay, you can come in with your soulmate, but good God, don't hold hands. None of that. All that was out the window, they said in that resolution. We want people to be who they are. That's what open and affirming means. It's an incredibly important title. Not just a title, it's an identity. Some churches, they embraced it, they loved it. They said, heck yeah, sign us up, we're all in, just waiting for the go. Other churches began conversations, moved a little more slowly. Others just ignored the resolution altogether, and still others completely left the denomination. Fair number left, said we don't want anything to do with this. And all these years later, today, almost 40 years later, church number 1,879 just became O&A the other day. I put them up on the screen. They're actually that one's, they're with the rainbow. When I wrote this on Friday, the one in the middle was the latest. And then the other one came out on Saturday and became O&A. And in the last 2 months, we've had at least 6 to 8 become O&A. Just in the last 2 months. I think that's pretty amazing. We're going in the right direction. And by the way, this all comes from the Open and Affirming Coalition. If you would like, I'd love to strengthen our relationship with them. If you'd like to be a part of that, will you see me so we can work on that together and see what's going on in the Florida Conference? A little side note. Anyway, I think that's pretty cool. We celebrate with these churches in their newly designated O&A, Open and Affirming status. But anyway, back to my box. And I'm in the box, in the back, digging through documents. Dust is flying everywhere. I'm trying to stay awake. Coffee's going down. I couldn't find what number we were in taking our O&A designation. There may not have been a record then, I'm not sure. But I can tell you, even as progressive and strong as we are today, it was still a journey for us, this church, I'll be honest, to get to O&A. It really was. In fact, becoming O&A was first raised, I found, in 1996. Saw in those old minutes, but the church wasn't ready. It wasn't ready. It wanted more conversation. Well, it took another decade. And people kept fighting under the scenes. I have a feeling, Ellery, you were one of them. Kept this conversation alive. Kept going. And then in 2006, it finally adopted the formal designation, Open and Affirming. The reasoning is, and this is indicative of so many churches that are having that conversation then, like we did or others did, and that we'll have the conversation. The reasoning is that belief that, we're already really welcoming. We already welcome everybody, so why do we need a special designation? I've been in rooms with people having that conversation to become O&A, and I've heard that sentiment many times, and okay, I understand it. But, so I always say to them in those meetings, it's not enough. That's not enough. You need to show it. You need to show people that you believe so strongly in welcoming them, loving them into your congregation in complete, authentic fullness to be who they are, and that means you have had intentional dialogue about it, and in the end believe so strongly in that kind of radical welcome that you are willing to take on that designation and call yourself O&A as a part of your identity. Not whisper it, all welcome. Not whisper it in an all welcome fashion, because what church doesn't say that in this day and age, right? Not whisper it in that fashion, but say it loudly, boldly, and authentically in an open and affirming fashion. And that is what this church, your church, did in 2006, almost 20 years ago. And they decided that being welcoming and inclusive just wasn't enough. They wanted to take it further, and they voted to make it a core piece of their identity. I would say the core piece of our identity. And that has only gotten stronger and stronger by the year, and as we have lived out that ONA identity by marching at pride parades down in St. Peter. Here's a bunch of pics going way back, way, way back, almost right to our first ONA. We marched in pride parades. We married awesome, loving couples right here in this church. We've written and spoken out about supporting gay rights. We've hosted the Shower of Stoles. I don't know if many of you were here for this. Shower of Stoles being these stoles they were all around the church, and they have all these messages written by folks that were silenced by the church. So someone put these stoles together and said, let's provide a way to honor those who were silenced and have their stories live and told. This is something we want to bring back here soon, because it was really, really powerful. We sent peace cranes to Orlando after the Pulse nightclub massacre. We've spoken at rallies against LGBTQ violence. We've ordained gay clergy. Brian Craig, I couldn't find a picture of him right here. So amazing. We put up rainbow banners only to have them cut. And in their place, we put up rainbow flags only to have them pulled down and stolen. But you know what we did every single time? We just put another one back up. And we'll just keep putting it higher and higher and higher until they can't reach it. And this week we're going to gather 60 plus in the Pride game, or just when you drive down the road, this identity shows strongly. When you see that flag, you think of the kids next door that are being closeted and muzzled and told to keep quiet, that their lives don't matter. Trans kids and gay kids. And when they look across and they see that flag flying, that's why we became open and affirming. That's the difference between, they're welcome, and open and affirming. Symbol to anyone driving down that road, what we believe. It's a symbol of what we stand for. It's a symbol of what we fight for. It's a symbol of what we value. We are radically, loudly, and boldly open and affirming. There's no going back, and this is a great month to remind ourselves of that as we celebrate Pride. My friends, as we do celebrate this month, I don't need to tell you that we live in some pretty unsure times, right? Yeah. Oh my God, they got a little more uncertain this week, didn't they? We won't go there. So many jokes. I know, I'm not going to go there. No, there'll be a time. Whisper it. I'm going to whisper. On the bus. Won't just be me, I'm sure. I don't need to tell you that we live in some pretty unsure times. I believe our celebration of Pride takes on new meaning this year. In particular, we need to keep raising our voices higher and higher. And there is a lot of hope. I don't want to bring it down. There's a lot of hope out there. Look at what happened in the Methodist Church I just mentioned, right? Voting to strip out all that anti-LGBT language from their polity just a few short weeks ago. That was a momentous step forward. We should applaud and support our Methodist friends like Andy Oliver, who worked so hard on this down at Allendale Methodist, and congratulations to them. They worked on this for a long time. We should celebrate the fact that Pride celebrations are getting larger and larger and larger, even against great odds, it seems at times. We should celebrate what happened in Jacksonville the other night. Yeah, you can ban our colors. When we the people, showed up with flashlights of their own, organized themselves, and we the people lit that bridge in pride colors in Jacksonville. How cool is that? We should celebrate that the Catholic Church has indicated an opening towards blessing same-sex unions, though it does not really go far enough, but hey, the door's been opened, right? We should celebrate that more and more cities are holding pride events and raising flags, even against the wishes of many. And we should celebrate as we saw more and more UCC churches becoming open and affirming. We should celebrate all of this and more. Yes. But on the flip side, in Ecclesiastes-like form, if there's a time to dance, there's also a time to mourn, right? It seems like there's a lot to potentially mourn about these days and those attempts to ban the flags from city halls and school and other spaces I mentioned, and rolling back colorful and celebratory traditions and increased vandalism of LGBTQ spaces, celebratory murals like the one in St. Pete that's now been defaced recently twice, to increase violence from the FBI, chatter from the FBI about increased violence towards places that celebrate pride. We got to mourn that too. And yes, for God's sakes, why did this have to happen? We even have to mourn the fact that the Pope, and I really like Pope Francis. I really like this guy, but he used a derogatory term towards gay men the other day in a meeting. It leaked out, and he apologized for it. But come on, be better, right? Be best, be better. So celebrate, yes. But be vigilant. Did you catch that?
Oh, yes.
I know. Celebrate, yes. Celebrate, yes. We should. We have so much to celebrate, but let us keep vigilant and keep ready to keep up the fight. Yes, we need to do that as well. Pride has reminded us of that. We fought for these rights, right? But there are forces at work working hard to undo them. So we just need to be louder, right? We just need to turn out like we did yesterday in Dunedin or next week at the game. We just need to keep raising our voices. We just need to keep speaking up. We need to never be silent. We need to live that promise that we all made back in 2006, that all are welcome in this house, and no matter what comes at us in the coming year, well, that is never, ever going to change. So I wish you this day a very, very happy Pride, and everyone. And I wish you a safe and celebratory month of celebrating love, inclusion, togetherness, not with a whisper, but loudly and boldly. And for that, I say amen. And more than that, join me. Come on, happy Pride. Come on.
Happy Pride.
One more time.
Happy Pride.
One more time.
Happy Pride.
And an angel just got her wings. Amen, everybody. me a song. Don't be silent. Make that song loud. Don't whisper that song. Now we're going to come to our time of communion. Come to a time of communion, my friends. And this is what I always want to say here. All are welcome at this communion table. All are welcome. It doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, where you've been. All are welcome at this table. That's the way communion should be. Some simple instructions after our litany, and we're singing a quick servant song, beautiful song for this month. And you can come up front here. We have all gluten-free bread. Everything is gluten-free now. At the front up here, we'll have juice over on the side. And if you're uncomfortable coming forward, or just not able to come forward, we will come to you and serve you right where you are. Are you floating? Diana will be our floater. She will find you right where you are. But all are welcome at our communion table. You'll join me in our communion litany. Well, we are a people who've come from many places, embodying many differences. Different sexualities and identities.
Different politics and theologies.
All one people at one meal to discover and remember this truth, that our difference need not be something we simply tolerate, but blessings which we celebrate.
The more difference we embody, the more fully we experience the presence of God in our midst.
So come to this table just as you are, wherever you've been and whatever wounds you bear today. You are welcome here in this place among friends at this meal to be encountered by the love of God that provides sustenance and strength in all times. Everyone is welcome, again, to be here this day as we draw the circle wide and share communion together. Everyone is welcome to this feast of broken grains and grapes of the vine, a remembrance of the one that we follow, Jesus and his way.
Let us enjoy this feast together, and in his way lift up a world of inclusion and care, where all people in the circle of creation live with respect and dignity.
In memory of Jesus, everyone present will share in this bread of new life, broken for us so that we might remember the life and love that he embodied in the world.
In this way, we lift up a world of generosity, where, as the examples of Jesus,
Abundance overcomes scarcity,
so that all are fed.
In memory of Jesus, everyone present is invited to share in these grapes of promise, harvested for us so that we may spread the challenge his life was to the ways of the injustice in the world.
In this way, we lift up a world of sufficiency, where
Entrenched systems of privilege are challenged, wealth is shared, and all are satisfied. A couple, before we come to the table, a couple of concerns and joys. Hold Ralph Coet in your hearts and prayers. He might be on with us. He's up north, and we prayed for his mom, Doris, last week. Well, she did pass away last Thursday. Ralph was able to spend some time with her 2 days before she passed. Holy time for them. So prayer for their family and for his dad, Joe, who was grieving and dealing with health challenges of his own. So Ralph, if you happen to be on with us this morning or see this later, we're thinking of you this day and your family, and hope you're all together and finding a sense of peace. Also hold Fran Mitchell in your hearts and prayers, as well as her niece Kate and sister Sandy. They're all just kind of going through a hard time right now. A lot of struggles out there, and especially Fran trying to get both of them settled in with their own struggles that they're going through. So hold them in prayers. And hold our friend little Ginny Van Skoyak in your hearts and prayers. She may be on with us right now. She's just been in a lot of pain lately. So hold Ginny. And then Jane Schneider and Peter are here with us. Barb Campbell's kids are here with us. It's been a long time. Well, not that long. You've been here. But God, we miss Barb Campbell around here. Miss Barb, and you're here with us, your presence. But Jane is here because she has a good friend, Maggie, who's suffering from terminal cancer in this time. So we hold Maggie. Let's hold Maggie in our hearts, prayers, and Jane, you as well, as you support her in this time. And it's good to see the both of you. Absolutely. Couple joys. Sue Markowitz celebrated a birthday yesterday. And they've had a big week. Sue and Joan celebrated 50 years together. We had a 70th birthday party. I mean, my goodness, you guys have been busy lately. We have a cake out there in their honor. So please do enjoy yourself after the service. We always love a good cake here, don't we? We don't whisper that at all. We just say it out loud. We love cake. And holy moly, Faith UCC, 356 pounds of food last week for Dunedin Cares. Thanks for continuing to feed our neighbors. Will you join me in a little deeper centering moment here? Oh, since ancient times, people have gathered together to celebrate the living presence of the Spirit of Christ in our midst. Breaking bread together and sharing wine and grapes is a symbol of love and peace. And so we come together this day, just as they did long ago, to perhaps catch a glimpse of the realm of God that Jesus so often spoke about. A vision where the circle is always getting wider. Where all eat together and enjoy the breads and fruits of the earth in abundance. And all are loved just for who they are. So may this shared act of communion inspire us toward more wholeness and remind us of our common humanity and lead us always toward more love, inclusion, and compassion. We have lifted up the names, invoked the presences of some of those that are suffering this day, but as we know, a name lifted or a place or situation lifted in a sacred space can bring peace and hope. So I just want to invite you now to just lift the name of someone or something that is on your heart in this time.
John, Chalice,
David,
Haiti,
Fran Mitchell, Justin, Ukraine, Alan and Diane,
Cosmo,
For all those spoken aloud and those that we hold in the silence, may peace be with them, and as well as those who hold them, and may peace be with our world and its division, war, and suffering, and for all the suffering that's taking place. May peace reign in our world and be with those that really need it. Before we head to the table, I wonder if you'll join me in praying a beautiful interpretation of that ancient prayer that Jesus taught us. Words are on the screen. Our Creator, who art in every being, hallowed be thy name in the dance of existence. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in the interconnected web of life. Give us this day our daily sustenance, as we recognize the abundance of nature around us. Forgive us our trespasses against the earth, as we forgive those who trespass against it. Lead us not into greed and consumption. Deliver us from the illusion of separateness. For thine is the unity, the diversity, and the everlasting cycle, from birth to death and back to the eternal embrace of renewal. Oh man, I love those words. Hey, why don't we rise up in body or spirit, and let's sing this beautiful servant song. And as we get to that final verse, I invite you to start coming forward, and we'll share in communion together.
We
Will you join me in this prayer of thanksgiving? Jesus taught us these truths, that the world is filled with good things. Sufficiency is the key to abundant life. Food is a gift of the generous Creator. Spirit. We eat from only one loaf. We represent one circle. Wow. Amen. Amen. Hey, we got a couple of announcements. I know we're over. A couple of great announcements coming up. I don't have any to make, so I'm going to invite up first Barb and then Betty.
Hi. I just wanted to let you know of a little change with our Labyrinth walk. Typically, we walk on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. And starting yesterday, we're walking for the summer, we're walking at 8 p.m. And what a glorious time of day it is to walk. It was so beautiful here last night. And then next week you'll hear more about it, but I just want to pique your interest. We're having a repeat of the Yoga and Labyrinth, which is going to happen on June 20th. It's a Thursday. It'll be 5:30 for the yoga, and then the Labyrinth will follow that. And then it's a $15 donation. $5 of that goes to our Labyrinth fund. So hope you can come out for that. And if you have any questions, see Marge, because today is my last Sunday here until September. So I will see you in September.
See you in September. Well, first we'll see you at the Pride baseball game before you go. So.
Good morning, everyone. Today I have an important announcement to share with you regarding an upcoming special meeting of our congregation. 2 weeks from today, June 16th, we will be holding a special meeting after our regular service. No wonder I'm having trouble reading this. During this meeting, we will be discussing and voting on a significant proposal for the future of our church grounds. As many of you know, we recently sold a small parcel of our land at the rear of our property, resulting in a substantial fund of $40,000. After careful consideration and thoughtful discussion, the leadership team has proposed to allocate $20,000 of these funds for the removal of the circular drive that is currently in disrepair. In its place, we plan to create an eco-friendly landscape with a beautiful path leading to our front door. This change will not only enhance the aesthetic appeal of our church, but also promote environmental sustainability. Your voice and your vote are crucial in this decision. We believe that this project will greatly benefit our congregation and our community, but we want to ensure that every member has the opportunity to share their thoughts and opinions. Please mark your calendars for June 16th and plan to join us for this important meeting. Your participation is invaluable as we work together to create a welcoming and sustainable environment for all. Thank you for your attention and continued support. I look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty. Yeah, this will be an important one because it looks. We've had that circular driveway, for so long. It's rarely used, except on school days. Which is great to help out, but the police, they can't stand it. The school can't stand it. And we have to pay, it's really expensive to get that thing repaved because there are potholes. It's getting dangerous out there. In the front of the church, we have such a beautiful space. We have so much color out there. And then you look at that pseudo lawn thing out there and you go, ugh, you drive by. So wouldn't it be nice to have a beautiful paver path, some boulders and natural landscaping and just make it look lighted up at night and have just a beautiful welcoming facade to our church. So, we sold that tiny, as Betty said, that tiny little parcel in back that we couldn't ever do anything with anyways. It was like a little rectangle way in the back on the neighbor's fence line. So my thoughts always been, let's just put that into the front of the church that's just needed it for so long. So, but that's got to be up to all of you. So that's what the meeting's going to be about. So 2 weeks, we'll try and have we're going to have some renderings or some plans or something. We'll come up with some visioning. We're working with the landscape team. They were here and kind of they're going to give some of their ideas. But it could make it look really, really sharp and make us pop even more. So how cool to take it back to kind of a Florida native landscape out there that's eco-friendly, doesn't need as much water, and things like that. So 2 weeks. Any questions? Betty will be happy to answer them. Fran, you can email Fran, talk to me, any member of the leadership team in the meantime, and we will go through that. Real quick, I was given this, but right before the service, this is awesome. I want one of these. This is a Dunedin Tervis Pride. It's got the new Dunedin Pride logo on it. Tervis, hot, warm kind of cup here. And Nancy brought it and said, here's a giveaway. We love doing giveaways. Remember the can koozie giveaway last year? Some of you were here. Yes. Our winner is here today, by the way. So we thought if you wanted to donate coffee, is this it? Coffee to Dunedin Cares. You bring in coffee, there's going to be a basket to put your name in, and we're going to do a drawing for this very Tervis Pride mug that I want so badly. So we're going to keep it somewhere safe for me because they're like $30 or something. So hey, this is a good win. So bring in some coffee, get your name in the basket. It'll be by the Dunedin Care stuff, across from the drinking fountains, and get your name in to win this beautiful Tervis. Thank you, Nancy, for bringing it to us. On Father's Day, it'll be a Father's Day drawing. Okay, could be a gift. You could leave here with a Father's Day gift. How about that? Family, if you're listening, I want that thing right there. So. Real quick, too, Ray's Pride Game next week, 2 p.m. We're going to meet here 2 p.m. sharp. The bus is leaving at 2:15. So who's all riding the bus? Can I see some hands? We got a bunch of folks riding the bus. Yeah, good. Good crowd. Probably a lot that aren't even here right now.
Also, I just got word that we have 3 tickets potentially available.
Oh.
This is tentative, so see me if you're interested.
Tentative 3 tickets available. See Casey if you're interested. Life comes up and people can't go for whatever reason. So, but 2 o'clock, we're leaving here sharp. It's $17 for the bus, $20 with tip. Get a ride down there, right to the door. Get a ride back here. How cool is that?
If you need help getting your tickets on the MLB Ballpark app, I can help you in person today.
Casey can help you with anything you need to do with this baseball game. Trust me, he can. And he loves it. Oh, and there's giveaways next. If you go to the game, you're going to get this cool thing, and you're going to get this cool thing. Oh, who doesn't like that? So there you go. I'm going to just stop. You're a generous congregation. I say thank you for all of your incredible giving. You help us be that place that for decades has been keeping Pride alive, is open, inclusive, open and affirming, welcoming. We need a place that spreads love. In this state especially, we are that, and it's your giving that helps us be that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are visiting with us, you want to give, there are plates on the back table. If you're online, just go to our website. PayPal and Banco are right there on the give link. Hey, let's rise up in body or spirit, sing our way out of here, and go get some cake to celebrate Pride and Sue's birthday and everybody else that's got a birthday. Let there be peace on earth, my friends, and let it begin right here with us.